everyone. So today is a day. It is 11:30 and I'm smiling just in spite of the day. Last night it started storming at like 8:30, 9 o'clock bedtime. And, my kids are very scared of storms. I'm not sure why, but it's just an intense anxiety. And my 7 and 5-year-old share a room. My 3-year-old's in by herself. And, so she is like the one that's the worst, but she thankfully fell asleep before everything started. Well, then it stormed and it did not stop all night. And like around 2 or 3 in the morning, it was so loud that it was like setting off monitors. And then our emergency alert kept going because for a flash flood warning, because we got like 5 inches of rain in an hour or so. I mean, probably not, but so much. And so then all of our phones are going off and everybody was awake. So the big girls were up late because of the storm. And then we all were up for like 2 hours in the middle of the night. And so that's lovely. And then finally fell back asleep. And then my alarm went off at 4:45 and I got up and the baby woke up and she just would not go back to sleep. So it was a morning. It was a morning, but we made it 5 minutes late to volleyball camp. And it was a great time. However, we get there and my husband's like, hey, we got a phone bill with the company that we canceled our phone through in October. So we switched cell phone carriers in October. And the original company that I kind of want to name them because it's so frustrating. But the original company has been continuing to charge us $130 for my Apple Watch, for service on my Apple Watch. My Apple Watch doesn't even have service. Like you look at it and it doesn't even have service. We don't have an account because we canceled it. So we can't see anything online. They won't tell us what the last four of the credit card that it's being charged to. Just awful. Hold on one second. Oh my goodness. So I'm back home in my driveway and the babysitter is here extra like until 11:45 today because so my oldest would have time to play with her because like I said, she is beloved and she hasn't gotten really any time. So I'm sitting in the car just finishing updating you guys in private and quiet and my husband just came out. He's still on the phone. Anyway, so the old cell phone carrier has been charging $130 a month for my watch that doesn't have service and we can't figure out what card it's on, all of that. So he, I guess, has been on the phone with, I almost named the company for a while. And so now we're going through our credit cards. And so that's how I spent my morning is trying to figure out where the heck this is being charged and like what we do about it. And so yes, it has been a nightmare and it has not been productive. And now I have a headache. So wasn't the funnest last day. However, the baby, still an angel, just an angel. She just played and let me fuss with all this stuff and it was wonderful. But, also good news, last night with all the storms and whatnot, I finished my book. So, I finished The Summer of Songbirds by Christy Woodson Harvey. And I have loved her in the past and I've liked some, loved some have been fine, but this one I really enjoyed. However, major asterisk. So the premise of this book is it is about 3 women who went to camp together as girls. You know, they went to and then they continued on, became counselors, all that kind of stuff for a couple weeks every summer. One of their aunts owns the camp. And so now the girls' names are Daphne, Lanier, I think I listened to the audiobook and yet that name is just not sticking. Lanier and then Mary Stewart. And so they all, now Mary Stewart just got married. Lanier is engaged, about to get married. And so they decide to go to the camp for, Lanier's bachelorette party gathering kind of thing. And, what they don't know until June, which is the name of the aunt, tells them that this is probably going to be the last summer of the camp because COVID basically ruined it and made it so they can't financially swing it. So they go back to this camp and we're following all their lives. So Mary Stewart was really like an unnecessary character. I don't know why she was even in this book, because she doesn't really have much of a point or plot. But Lanier is engaged to this guy who she's not really sure about, whatever. And then she goes to this summer camp, and the guy who was kind of the one who got away is there. He is the owner of the boys' camp just down the road. So he's there. They're at this camp, and I will say, if any sort of cheating, emotional cheating, physical cheating, any of that kind of stuff is a trigger for you, don't read this. Also, Lanier is an awful friend. So Daphne had a thing with her brother when they were like teenagers or 20s or something, and when they were younger, I don't know. And Lanier was not on board. She was not okay with it. And so much so that she would lie, she would manipulate, she would do all these things to make sure they were not together. And they ended up ending their relationship because of her. And now it's years later, they run back into each other, and Lanier is acting like a teenager jerk. And Daphne was raised in part by a mother with substance abuse issues. It was all sorts of substances. And she herself struggled a little bit, like a long time ago. And she's been clean forever. But like Daphne or Lanier treats her awful. And like, so once Daphne's mother died, that's not spoilers. She like is raised by Lanier's parents. And so she's like a sister to her. And she treats her like dirt, like not good enough for her brother, just judgmental as heck. And I really struggle with friendship stories that have awful friends. Like, why are you friends with this girl? I get it. Like, you kind of grew up together, sisters, that kind of thing. But like, I don't know. And she was there for her. Like, we were told she was there for her through hard times and all that kind of stuff. But her actions, her willingness to just lie, manipulate, whatever. And like the way Lanier left this guy years ago was awful. Awful. Like the fact that he would even consider turning around and like acknowledging her is like, better you than me, bro. Cause yuck, like what? And so Lanier was an awful human being. And I didn't like care what happened to her. Daphne, on the other hand, she's a lawyer. She has a 4-year-old son. And she's very anti-love. I don't feel like her reasons for being anti-love were that realistic. Like she was extreme it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah, so this definitely had the summer camp vibes. I like they do a campaign kind of thing to try to save the summer camp. And I like that part, but I just wasn't buying the friendship. I didn't want a happy ending for Lanier. And so I wasn't like rooting for her. But that being said, her writing style is really entertaining. I enjoy it. But gosh, I don't know. So I like this, and I'm going to keep it on my shelf. So it's probably a 3.5-star read, but she was an awful person. And like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be friends with her. So there's that. And then it's still at the same point here in the Outsider Kids. This is a graphic novel about 3 siblings from Taiwan trying to make their way. I didn't read any in this since we last talked because, last night I was not in the mood. And then today it's just been stuff. Credit card stuff, phone stuff, all that kind of stuff. And then I did start. So last night I had so much audiobook time. It was lovely. And I started Dear Martin by Nick Stone. So this is about a boy named Justice who is writing a letter to Martin Luther King Jr. After being the victim of police brutality for just being for trying to help, honestly. I was going to say being in the wrong place at the wrong time, but no, for being the wrong color in the right place at the right time trying to help somebody. So this is already making me mad. I'm not very far into it. But it's good in that it's invoking emotions out of me, but there's that. So that's the reading update. Now, it is gloomy still, kind of. I mean, the sun keeps coming in and out. Obviously, I'm wearing sunglasses, but more so just to cover my tired eyes because we're tired. So it is, I'm going to go in, feed the baby, and work on prepping my anticipated reads, unless my husband needs me again for this whole situation. And then, feed the baby, make lunch, I think we're going to do naps, maybe a little bit of school. Kind of a low-key day because tomorrow is going to be a fun day where my mom is bringing up one of the cousins, and so it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time full of girly girls. So, because I don't know if I have ever talked about it, but on my side of the family, my kids are all girls, and there are something like 16 grandkids, and only 3 are boys. The rest are all girls. So we are girl heavy, but there's 8 minutes of your life you'll never get back. I'll check in later. Hey everyone. So it's not quite hair nest time of the day yet, but it is 5:15, and I thought I would just get on and update one more time because we're all a little grouchy. I actually feel good energy wise. After last night being a rough night, I expected to just hit a wall and want to veg out this afternoon, but I don't feel that way. But I am feeling a little irritable. The sun has yet to come out today, and I just don't do well on days like that. I just don't. But let's see. I think the last time I talked to you, the babysitter was about to leave, so I came inside and got the whole situation figured out. My Visa card is the best, and they're going to argue for us, and so we're going to see if we can make it work. And then ate lunch and laid down, and then we've been doing a little bit of school, just a little bit of hangout time, and now it's 5:15, so my husband's off work, I guess, and I'm going to film a couple clips, and then I'm going to go downstairs and do just like a 20-minute lifting exercise, just to kind of get my head right, be alone for a couple minutes, and do that, and then do dinner and go to bed. And tonight I had planned to do sloppy joes, but that's more of an involved thing, and I'm just not in the mood, so we're going to do quesadillas. So I'm equally excited about that. Let's update about books. So actually, I don't really have an update. I read more in both my audiobook, but very little, like a chapter, and then I read a little bit in my graphic novel, but again, not enough to like have anything profound to tell you, except that in that book, The Outsider Kids, it is talking a lot about somebody coming out as gay and how accepted it is, and how it is accepted in America and not in China or not in Taiwan. And it's fine. I don't know that, like, it's there in their mind, it's like very much an American thing. And I don't know. I'm kind of getting the ick about the way they're talking about it. So, yeah. That is my update on that. So I think that's going to be it for today. I am going to insert a picture right here of my bathroom right now because it is just so cute. My husband walked in there and he's like, I'm just going to go somewhere else because we only have one bathroom on our main floor. But right now it is a viewing room because we are in the process, not like aggressively potty training, but kind of. And today we thought there might be some movement. And so the girls, like, bless their little hearts, my daughter had an audience as she was trying to do her thing, and the girls are so supportive. It's awesome. We're all ready for my almost 3-year-old to be potty trained, but so cute. So that's the plan for the rest of the evening. I'm going to work out, make dinner, and then get everybody showered, and then probably listen to my audiobook, ? I don't really know. I'm feeling, like I said, a little headachy, but a little grouchy, just kind of ready for the day to be done. So I might just lay in silence. So we'll just kind of see. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.